Alright, hello everyone. Um, gonna be getting back to some minis today. So yeah, we are gonna kinda pick up where we left off last time. The plan is to paint at least two of the minis we kit bash. Well, one of them isn't really a kit bash, but we're gonna paint some of the stuff we worked on last stream. Just need to... There's my other scene. Oh, that out of the way. Alright, the biggest priority that I absolutely wanted to get done on stream is Captain Centos. Again, very, very kindly sent to me by my friends. I told them I would absolutely paint it on stream, and that's what we're going to do. And then, when we finish that, we're going to do the other one. And then we'll see how much time we have left after that. I know which one I'll work on if we do get there, but I imagine both of these are going to be fairly involved, and I'm not even entirely confident we will be able to finish both of them, but we'll see. Alright. We'll try using this handle. I don't like using this one for 40mm bases, because it always feels like I'm stretching it too far. Yeah, you know what? We're just not gonna do that. This feels overkill, but at least I don't feel like I'm gonna break the handle. Alright. Yeah, that's not even visible on camera, is it? Let's see, how's that look on the preview? Yeah, we gotta adjust the camera a little bit. I don't remember my palette being visible before either, so I probably bumped it again. Or I didn't save the preset from last time, even though I thought I did. There we go. That should be good. Let's move my little... there. Alright. Also, let's... Oh, I know what I did. Yeah, okay, that's why it didn't save the camera angle. Okay. So. Yeah, let's just get started. Okay, where is my brush that I like to use for contrast? There you are. Get my Dark Angels green here. Where did you go? There you are. Yeah. Not really much to say. Just we're just gonna get started here. Water down my paint just a little bit. Remember, face towards camera. Gonna just go through my usual process here. Get all the green done first. And then we'll do everything else afterwards. I still haven't 100% decided what chapter I'm going to have my Deathwatch version be from. I've got a couple ideas, but it's all gonna depend on what I have the decals to do. I would have liked to have done the Minotaurs, but I definitely don't have a decal for them. And I could do Dark Angels, or one of their successor chapters, but I don't know. I've done so many at this point that I think I just really want something else. And I don't know, feels like a good excuse to do one of the neat, like, lesser known, or at least lesser seen chapters. Another good option would be the, oh, I forget how to pronounce their new name, but what are essentially the new version of the Space Sharks. I've always had a fondness for them just because of the name Space Sharks is so goofy. But unfortunately, I know I definitely don't have a decal for their shoulder pads. I'm sure I could find one, it's just probably just gonna have to make do with what I currently have access to. I'm not even sure if or when they ever officially made decals for them. I did finally get some more armigers for my Imperial Knights, so now that I'll have 4, I feel a little bit more comfortable trying to actually, like, getting a playable army out of them. Also, apparently, just in time for Knights to have a rebalance to their point cost, so real glad that I wanted to invest more in the little ones. Need some fresh green here. Right. Unlike the last 2 bottles I've had, I think I might make it to the end of this green paint here without spilling over half of it on my desk. That's exciting. Honestly, just in time for me to be getting wrapped up with my Dark Angels here. Because I've got the couple things we put together the other day, and what else? I think I've got a 10-man squad of Hellblasters and the Infernus Marines. And I think that's basically everything I have left to do in the typical green color scheme. I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to do in Deathwing colors, but I'm about done with my green, which, you know, I don't mind. Because, been doing this color scheme pretty much non-stop for a while here, so excited to be moving on to some other things, even if I'm not overly fond of painting Deathwing colors. It looks good, just pain in the neck to do. Then after that, probably going to finish my Knights before I move on to any bigger projects, but I've only got 1 more Armiger and 2 big Knights left to do, and then they're finished, or at least what I have of them. Hopefully I can finally get a game in with them. I think I got this a little dark in one spot here. Let's see if we can get that a little bit lightened, or like maybe dilute it just a little. Alright, let's try to wipe off a little bit of the paint here. Corner of the backpack's getting a little dark, so let's just try to mop some of this up and do it over. Sometimes it seems like I try to do that and it don't get any better, but as long as it's not getting worse, I suppose. Alright. I think I'm gonna have to oh, sorry, keep bumping the mic. I think I'm gonna have to wait for that to dry before I try to straighten that out anymore. Just darkening things up just a hair in a few places. Actually, I just realized I didn't get anything around the collar here. Let's fix that. Okay. Darken the power fist just a little. Okay, yeah, gonna have to let this dry before I try to darken it anymore, because it's just getting runny. Alright. Give it a couple seconds to dry here. I can't tell if it's getting dark on that side or if it's just still wet. Backpack definitely got way too dark here on the side. Let's try to fix this side too. Best to mop this up. Well, it's a little better. See if I can get... Yeah, I don't know how I got the backpack so dark. Just not paying attention to what I'm doing, I guess. Alright, let's try this again in a few places. Get a tiny bit of water. Nope, too much water. Okay, Okay, that's a little bit better. Kind of a dark spot on the one arm, or on the shoulder, but it's fine. I'll tell you though, I am looking forward to not having to be so delicate with this green. Granted, I did this to myself. I could have just gone for a flat green color scheme, and that be it. I don't have to be doing this like contrast over metallic approach, but I do like the results. So, well, okay, I like the results when they turn out well. But nope. Keep bumping the mic. Right. Need it a little bit thicker here. Sorry. Okay, I think I might need to work out a new setup for my mic when I'm doing this, so I don't keep bumping it with the brush. Sorry for any noise that keeps making. I think that's a little much. Okay, let's try to water that down just a little. Green is definitely just a back and forth of too light, too dark. Hard to get it. There is definitely a just right, but I have a heck of a time getting it there sometimes. Might need... Alright, might need to stop there and let it dry again. Yeah, it's pooling up a little too much. Alright, let's try to lighten up. Shoulder pad again. And try again once the water dries on it. Anything else need adjusting while we wait on that to dry? See a spot I missed. How's the shoulder on this side looking? Looks okay. Get a tiny bit on the backpack. A bit more on this leg. Okay, I think that's all right. Are you dry yet? Maybe. Okay, I think that's okay, and if I keep messing with it, I'm just going to make it worse. So let's just let that be good. Alright. Anything else on the green that I immediately see that I need to get? I think I'm good there. Okay. I think we're good for the green. I'll probably have to do a little bit of touch-up or clean up with it as we go, but at least at the moment, it looks good. Alright, next, put that aside. You know what? I don't think we need that fine of a brush. Let's this one instead. Okay. Need that. Need that, just not yet. Where's my black? There it is. Alright, and we'll start getting all the exposed bits of Under Armour. And hopefully not having my finger slip there. Okay, so far so good. A little bit there. Probably need to do a little bit of cleanup on this, on the green here later, but now so far so good. Okay. There's not much on the back of the legs here I need to get, but there is a little bit. Okay. There. On this side. Okay. I think that's most of, if not all, the black done. Oh wait, nope. There's a little bit under the helmet there, but I think I'm going to use my smaller brush for that. This one is getting a little worn, which I do have some new brushes ready to go. I'm just having these ones kind of stick until they're definitely not usable anymore. Yeah, gonna have to clean up some of that black there, but that's fine. Okay, let's start working on some of the cloth and parchment. Yeah, this brush is also starting to wear out on me. Bristles keep wanting to split. Which, a lot of that's on me. I don't take very good care of my brushes. So that's something I could stand to be a lot better about. Okay, that's looking alright. Might, should probably wait for this to dry a little bit more before I keep trying to add more coats. Yeah, I'm gonna let that dry a little. We'll come back to that side. Let's get the banner on the shoulder pad here. Little thick. Let's try to spread that out a little bit more. Not the cleanest, but can always fix it later. Alright. It's coming along okay. Doing my best to not obscure what I'm doing. But I've already mentioned it before, there's only so much I can do being left-handed. Alright, I think it's starting to get a little bit thick here. Let's see what we can do about that. Okay, looks pretty good. I already know there's going to be some places I gotta touch up, but let's give it a moment to dry, and then we'll come back to it. So let's go back to the purity seals again. See how these are coming along. Okay. Looks alright. Go back to the banner here on the shoulder. And it's coming out a little thick, that's fine. Mop it up. Alright. Got a little bit on the collar there, but get that when we do the rest of our cleanup. Okay. That seems pretty good. Get a little bit of this banner that I missed. Alright. Okay. Move on to bigger brush here. Same color though. And now the worst part about doing most Space Marine characters, the cape. I seriously debated just not fully assembling this one before painting it, but I decided to anyway and just deal with it. So we're gonna do Wraithbone on the inside of the cape. Probably a couple coats, since it's going to be streaky for a little bit. To get all the angles I need to try to do this as clean as possible. Probably a fair bit of this is just not going to be visible on camera. And sorry for that, but it is just unfortunately going to be how I have to do it. I might even want to take it off. You know what? Yeah. Oops. Even going to take it off of here just to get a little bit better angle in some parts here. Trying to not get any of this on the armor. It's inevitably going to happen at some point, though, and not that hard to fix. Just trying to prevent future work if I can. And I think I might try something a little fancy with the backside of the cape with this one. I don't know if how it'll turn out, but I'm going to experiment and we'll find out. Alright, now I'm just pushing paint around. I'm going to have to let that dry before I start anything else to the inside. So let's, for the time being, move on to the cloth in front. maybe stand to be using a finer brush for this part, but yeah, it's getting there. Start getting the back side of that. Okay, time to let that start drying. And we can go back to the cape. Already looking a lot better. Okay. Trying to get a little bit of it from this side without making too much of a mess. Okay. Let that dry some more again. Back to the other cloth. Getting a little messy here, but nothing I can't fix. All right. Okay, that is most of it. I think I'm gonna want to go back to the smaller brush for the last of this. Well, maybe. This brush doesn't... This one might not quite reach what I still need to get. Yeah, definitely would have been easier to do this before it was fully assembled, but we're here now. And we'll get to do it all over again on the second one. Though, at the very least, cleanup on that one will be a lot more straightforward. Okay. Still a little bit... There we go. I'm getting it a little bit better. A little bit of a mess, but it's fine. Okay. Oh, yeah, definitely got to do some cleanup on that, but we will get to that. Okay. Still small banner on the leg here. Alright, need to get a little bit more of that. And keep making a mess. Okay. We can move on to another color now. Well, maybe. Keep seeing spots on the cape that I missed. Granted, I'm probably not going to be able to get every single spot, just because I happen to get in behind it there, but... Okay. Alright, let's move on to the next. Okay, let's get this done with. Get a little bit of red. And get the eyes of the helmet. A little bit spilled over. these buttons on the armor. And I might... Let's try it. Let's see how I like this red for the trim inside the cape here. Got a little bit spilled off the edge there. I think that's gonna look good though. This part's probably not going to be visible at all, but not much I can do about that. Definitely got a lot to clean up on this, but let's get in there. Need a little bit more paint. That needs cleaned up real bad, but again, it's fine. Okay. I don't know how visible that is, but I think I like that. Get that same little bit of trim on the front here. Okay. And not quite as good of a straight line as I wanted, but again, we can fix it. Okay. Let's move on to at least the first step here for the back of the cape. is going to be a little bit of an experiment. Just not quite sure how it's going to turn out, but go with me on this. Start with some silver. Just on the whole thing. Just trying to get this as even as possible. Get a tiny bit more here. Okay, let's let that dry before we move on to the next bit for the cape. I might need to come back with some more silver as well, but we'll see. Alright. Now, I have to do a good bit of cleanup here. So let's go back to the Wraithbone and start doing some touch-up. Probably have to go back over this edge with the silver as well, but there were a few places here that I really had the red spill over that I gotta fix. Probably wouldn't be too noticeable anyway, but I know it's there. That's much better. Go back and get a teeny bit of red. Try to fix the little bit of overcorrection I made without then also having to go back to the Wraithbone again. I prefer to not have the cycle keep going. Alright, I think that's good. Yeah. Again, don't know, lost my grip. Don't know how visible it is, but I'm pretty happy with how that cape's turning out so far. Okay, let's get some lead belcher and start doing some cleanup with that. We got some black on the collar there I need to correct. Basically the whole back end of the gun here. Okay. That side of the gun looks good. About this side. Honestly, this side's not as bad. A little bit more. Two places here that I'm gonna need to touch up. Get the top of the bolt gun here. Try to get things back on camera in a moment here. Okay. That little bit there. That's... Good bit of cleanup needs done there. Okay, let's start Actually, you know what? Let's hold off on doing anything else on the backpack for now, because I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do more cleanup on that once we finish the cape. Alright. Okay, get a little bit of black contrast here. I'm gonna start the bolt gun. That out just a little bit. Same thing on this side. Just a little bit of cleanup there on the back of the magazine, but since I'm going over it with black, it shouldn't matter. It's not enough that it'll be noticeable. A little bit of black in there. A little bit on this side. Okay. Alright, we're done with the black on the bolt gun. Okay, now for the red. I guess I could probably go back to having it on the handle now. In fact, I probably should so I don't accidentally smudge things. It's a little bit easier keeping things pointed towards camera like this. Okay. Some more red and start the other side. Okay, almost there. Okay. Guess I forgot to do the front with the black there, didn't I? It's fine, that's easy enough to fix. Okay. Now, I'm going to briefly go back to the red here. See how this part turns out. A little bit wide over brush. Red contrast. And we'll see how this looks. The idea I'm going for is I'm hoping that with the silver being under it, it'll have kind of like a satin or like shiny like silk look to the fabric. Just like a shiny cloth. And I might go one step further, and when I do the wash, put a gloss coat on it. Trying to keep this as even as possible without getting a bunch of dark and light spots. But I think this is going to turn out alright. Fine. That's why I didn't do the backpack yet. Okay, let's try to spread this out a little bit more. Get the parts that are not quite colored the way I want. Okay. I think that turned out not too bad. There is a light spot there that's a little discolored. Let's try to fix that. Beyond that, I think it's looking pretty good. Get along the edge here. Okay. Looks good. Now, another thing we're gonna kind of experiment with here. Or, I can put that away. I'm not gonna need that for a little while. This may not turn out, but we're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna try my darndest to do the hazard stripes on the Power Fist. Again, no idea how this is going to turn out. But I'm going to give it a go. Wish I had a nice flat brush like this that was just a little smaller. I mean, I probably did, and I probably ruined it months ago, but besides the point. I guess I wish I still had one. That's probably the way I should word that. Okay. Give that a sec. Let it dry before we try to put any more on. I should probably not worry about being so delicate with it and just fix all the green afterwards. Just try to focus more on making sure the yellow turns out smooth. Alright. Definitely gotta let that dry before I can do any more there. So let's see. Have some very tiny masking tape for this, which I have not yet opened. So let's do that here while that dries. Go. Okay. Try to smooth this out some more. Okay, looks good so far. Need to let it dry before the next coat. Alright, that is ready to go when we need it. So far, I would say this is coming along pretty well. Okay. I think that's probably looking alright. I think I want to do one more coat on that. Because it's probably not even showing up on camera, but there's like one or two dark spots that's still somewhat showing through the yellow. Okay, that looks dry. There. Okay. As soon as that dries, put some masking tape on it and do the black. But while we wait for that to dry, let's get started on some of the base. I'm gonna need just a little bit of this. Not much, just a little. Get down in the grooves there. Alright, get in between all these cracks as much as possible. I'm gonna be doing outside around them too, but I want to get the crevices and stuff first. Okay. That's good. Now, let's try out the masking tape here. Oh. One moment. Needed to get rid of a bot. Okay, where was I? Right, masking tape. Painting Dark Angels? Yep. At least this is going to be Dark Angels. The next model we work on, assuming I get time to finish both, will be Death Watch. Alright. Even this masking tape might be a little bit thicker than what I want, but we'll try it. We'll just see how this turns out. Sure, let's just put you right in the center. You know, I was a little worried this might be too thin, but now I'm not so sure. Okay. not need this long of a piece. I'm still deciding what chapter I want to do the Deathwatch model as, but I've got a couple ideas. Just unfortunately, I don't have the decals for most of them, so I've basically got until I get that far to decide on it. Sure, that looks alright. I think. Yeah, that's definitely not even. Ah, dang it. This is my first time getting around to using this, so hopefully I am putting this on tightly enough to block the paint. Hoping to get the weapons on your dreadnought done. Nice. Which what type of dreadnought? Ah, this one came off. Let's... Okay, what's going wrong here? Alright, probably this piece is just too long. Let's shorten it up again some more. Here, what if I try to put it on the tweezers? Maybe that'll work. 2 dreadnoughts. Brutalis. Oh, nice. Brutalis with the big sword. And a Redemptor. Magnetized for weapon options. Yeah, I should have done that. I have finally come around to magnetizing the bases of my stuff for transporting. But I still have yet to do any magnetizing for weapon options. I really need to, like, start learning the process for that, and I even got some magnets for it, just never did. Or just never did it. What did you do for the sword on your Brutalis? Did you use one of the, the Grey Knight battle suits? Or did you do something else? Yeah, shortening the tape is definitely helping. Okay, let's try this again. Use the Grey Knight one? Use green stuff to fill it. Oh, nice. That's another thing. I have not yet learned the wonders of green stuff. For as much kit bashing as I try to do, I'm really overdue to give it a go. Just don't trust my ability to sculpt anything decent out of it, I guess. But it would certainly make some things a lot easier. If and when I do get to working on more of my Chaos stuff, I do kind of want to take some leftover Hellbrute bits and mash them up with War Dog and see if I can make them fit. Don't know if I will, but I want to try. Okay, I think the second piece of tape is a little close to the middle one, but might still be okay. Let's make it good for making so much easier to work with. You can sand it once it's cured. Good for making robes, etc. Yeah, I've seen some. I've seen some real nice stuff people have sculpted out of green stuff. I just, again, just I don't trust myself to do it, and so I've just never tried. But that's not really a good excuse. All right, let's try this out and see if I got my tape on well enough. That's not the right brush. I can already see where it's gonna go under the tape, but that might be okay. I'll probably have to do a little bit of cleanup, but that's alright. Okay, next coat. Oops. Don't quite have that dry enough. Okay. Give that a moment to make sure it doesn't run when I pull the tape off. Start working on more of the base while we wait for that. Where's my gray? There it is. I would say yes, but I am very much a novice with Twitch, and I'm not sure how to enable someone to temporarily post links. I just have links disabled because of I usually have just more bots than people chatting most days. But I'm not quite sure how to enable that for someone. Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, I've been tempted to try to come up with my own Space Marine chapter. It's just like I'd have to figure out what I want to what I'd want to do with it. But I think I wasn't even really that interested in playing Space Marines when I got into 40K, but then I saw the model for Lion, and that was it. I was sold on Dark Angels. I I got into this entire faction for that one model just because I wanted to paint it badly enough. Okay. That's turning out all right. Trying to do my best to keep it on camera, just still really bad at this. It's way too easy to just fall back, just go back into muscle memory and paint in front of my face. Alright, get back to more of the base in a moment here. I'm excited to see how these hazard stripes turn out. Or didn't. Looking more like didn't. Well, this last piece off here. Come on. This one was stuck on here too good. Can't get a grip on it with anything. It's not the worst. Definitely need to do some cleanup on it, but I think this is salvageable. Definitely need more practice at putting this stuff on, though. Well, for the most part, the lines turned out clean enough. But not quite as clean as I was hoping. And I definitely could have done the spacing a bit better. Yeah, I might need to, yes, I might need to get some even smaller tape for this. I initially got it because I wanted to do some Iron Warriors, but their shoulder pads would be an even smaller surface. And that even seemed a little too wide for these, so definitely gonna have to experiment with that. This for the hazard stripes? Yeah. I don't know how visible that is from this distance, but turned out okay, but it could have been a lot better. Alright, now I'm just attempting to clean up where the black went under the tape. And then I might try to widen some of the black lines to the best of my ability and hopefully not make it worse. Alright, gonna let that dry. Do some more of the base while I wait. Slowly getting there. Yeah, at the rate this is going, I don't think I'm going to get both of these models done today, which is fine. But I'll get as much done as I can. Okay. Got that. Go back over this side again. And check in on the yellow. Okay, slowly getting there. Just about done with the gray on the base. Might need to do another coat in a couple places, but for the most part, that's almost done. Alright, let's check on the yellow. Yeah, yes, it is the, so much nostalgia. Yeah, the, I've been very happy with the, music I've been playing on stream. I originally just was looking for some, like, music that would be, like, you know, not ding me for copyright on the VODs, and, ended up just finding a bunch of music to just listen to on my own. But, yeah, it is the, Captain Centos miniature. In fact, the Deathwatch miniature we're going to be painting is also Captain Centos, thanks to my friends who sent me both of these. I didn't know what to do with the second one, and I didn't want to build it exactly to spec, so I kit bashed it as a proxy for Captain Artemis. Okay, let's see here. Already have 3 Captain miniatures. Good first company. Yeah. I think I had... Yeah, I have a couple Captains already as well. I think I just kind of figured, like, as far as, like, fitting him in, it's just, like, if I run a captain, he'll just take priority over the others. Currently, I'm not sure if I like captains that much, just because they don't really buff their squad, just themselves, but they do still seem pretty good by themselves, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out when and where I want to use them. I mean, I'm still fairly new to 40k. Like, I've been painting stuff for Kill Team for a couple of years, but I only really got into 40k proper about, like, maybe a year ago, and even then I've only gotten a handful of games in. Running a company hero is the best way to go? Okay. I'll have to look over them again and see how I like that combo. Alright, let's see about trying to widen these stripes a little bit and hopefully not make an absolute mess of things. Alright, well, for freehanding, I think that looks okay. Or at least for freehanding the wider things. Third Captain Miniature was from the new Kill Team starter set. Yeah, those were some very good miniatures. I think they were, like, I know they were from the old, like, all the, like, chapter heroes, like, blind boxes or whatever, but still, they're very nice models. I'm hoping that the new ones they're releasing also get Kill Team stats. Well, I guess I know they're going to get Kill Team stats. I hope that they get, like, rolled into the Space Marine Kill Team, rather than them just being a like a very basic starter one. Alright. Well, I am a little bit happier with the hazard stripes now. Let's see. What next? Actually, I still haven't done the leather on all the pouches and whatnot, so let's move on to that. This, at least, won't take long. It's not a ton to do. Okay, it's looking alright. bit of plastic I didn't cut off properly there. Let's fix that real quick. That's better. Okay. That's looking alright. Yeah. That looks pretty okay. A little bit of brown I need to get there, but... Oh, right. The strap on the bolt gun. I could probably go ahead and move up to a bigger brush for this, but yeah. I already got this one. Alright, there's the strap done. Okay, now I did notice there was a little bit of black that I missed. Try to get a little bit of this looking better. Whoops. Yeah, oh well. Okay. Coming along. Let's finish up the rest of the base next. There you are. Need to run past 10 a.m. Yep. All good. Thanks for hanging out and chat. Okay. Base is looking pretty good, except for the shell casings. Yeah, heck, at the rate we're going, we might only get this one done tonight, but that is okay. Just figuring out what my next step should be here. You know what? We're probably done making big mistakes. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of correcting here. And then we'll get all this green fixed. Just noticed a little bit here. Alright, cool. Yeah. Now let's get all this green taken care of that we, well, yeah, I say we, that I got a little bit messier. Bristles straightened out a little bit more. Try and make this as even as possible, although usually ends up with some dark spots correcting like this. But a dark spot is better than just the wrong color. Although, so far so good. The color for this. Actually coming out pretty good. Granted, now that I've said that, just noticed a little bit of red on the back of the leg there. Kind of messed that up, but oh well. It's not really going to be noticeable. Okay, now just a little bit to correct on the helmet. Okay. Looking pretty good so far. Just noticed. Gotta get that little corner of the belt. Well, if any part was going to come out much darker than I wanted it to, but it was that edge on the belt and nothing that was like more prominent. There. Okay. Green looks pretty good. Also, yep, there's a piece of masking tape under the base. Okay, I was gonna say let's move on to the gold, but never did finish touching up the backpack, so let's do that next. fix that. I'm probably doing a bad job of being on camera again, aren't I? Trying very hard not to hit the shoulder pad. I can't believe I didn't. I'll take it. Okay, let's get this side now. Don't know if I'll be able to get that without making a mess of it, but I'll try. Somehow, I didn't make a mess. Again, I'll take it. Oh, right, and I guess I can put this away too. Done with that for now. Definitely gonna have to find some thinner masking tape though for my Iron Warriors. Of course, much thinner and it'll just be even harder to get on, so not sure what good solution for that'll be. I think I need a little bit more here. I guess now that I'm looking, I never did the hose connecting the power fist, did I? Fix that. Next. Okay. Oh, wait. Not quite done yet. Okay. Still got this side to do here. Okay. Okay, well, unless I gotta do more cleanup, we should be basically done with lead bilger for the rest of this. Let's get a tiny bit of green. I noticed I had a spot on the power fist I didn't finish fixing. There we go. Now, let's get that hose before I forget about it a third time. I'm sure this is not remotely visible. I I apologize. Also, I never did the inside of the hand. Just that little bit of it. There we go. Okay, let's finally move on to some gold. Where did I put it? There you are. Oops. I can't believe nothing spilled. I don't even know why my hand did that. Alright, you know what? I'm probably done. Like, I don't need to get in under the cape anymore. Let's do that. Maybe I'll be blocking a little bit less with my hand now. Don't know if I like the gold for the chain. I might just go back to Lead Belcher for that. Best to get in here. Oh, whoops. That should have just been red. Didn't realize I had missed a spot there. Oh well, won't be that hard to fix. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Get the belt buckle here. Well, not really a buckle, but... Nope. Oh yeah, I sure did just rest my finger on the thing I just painted, didn't I? Let's try to not do that again. A little bit more on the laurels here. Now start the laurels on the power fist. Good so far. A little bit more paint here. All right. This edge around the gem a little bit more. Okay, I think that's everything that needs to be gold. Gonna go back to my silver very briefly. Just gonna put that on gem here. Might need to do another coat on that, but okay, while that dries, let's get the laurels on the cape here. Nice bright green. Very careful with this. I really don't want to have to correct the red. Probably gonna have this turned a little bit more towards me, so I can see what I'm doing. Apologies. So, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do about Sunday. I was only planning on doing one stream painting the stuff that was put together on the last one. But, especially if I'm not going to get to the other Captain Centos yet, at the very least, I want those to be painted on stream. So, just maybe, Sunday will be one more round of painting before starting anything else. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. I could space it out, but the trouble with that is I do want to get this stuff done. And I know I said from the beginning that I wasn't concerned about getting all the stuff that was kit bashed on stream, but at the very least the two Centos models for sure, and whatever else I can squeeze in, so. we'll see. I gotta think about it. Okay. Cape is looking pretty good. I don't even know if that is visible. But okay, let's very, very briefly go back to the silver again. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need at least one more coat on that. Oh, and I also missed the gem on the front as well. Let's get a little bit more silver on that. Now the one right here. Alright, and we will come back to both of those gems later. Yeah, and I think, looking at it again, I think I definitely want to make that chain in the front just metal instead of gold. I think the gold is just a bit too much. Okay, let's... Also, gonna need to do a little bit of correction on the cloth itself, because I had some gold spill over. Looks good. Also, I had noticed that the hose on the helmet here could use just a little bit more on it. That's much better. We are just about there. Okay, I need to fix just a little bit more green. Okay. pretty happy with that. Now, let's finally fix that little bit of gold that spilled out when I did the chain the first time. There we go. Oh, also, back of the cloth here really needs another coat. I probably need a bigger brush for that. Okay, just looking everything over here. Alright, nice. So where's my darker red? There you are. Get the wax seals here. Might need to do a little bit more on the parchment here as well. Okay, back to the bigger brush. A little bit more wraithbone. Okay, this shouldn't take too long. Just putting extra coat on here. Just adding a little bit more onto these. I am seeing couple places where the brown on the leather didn't quite take, so let's put just another thin coat over top to fix that. Oops, my bad. Okay. We are just about done. Yeah, I think this is all we're gonna get done. Alright, where's my dark gray? A little bit of contrast here. I like to take just a little bit of this to do the vents on the backpack. That was too much. Not enough. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else that needs done, at least nothing that's jumping out at me. So, last thing will be take a bit more gold and get all these shell casings on the base. And then I think we're ready for the wash. Sorry if I'm quiet, just focusing. Enjoying the music. Noticing I am gonna have to do a little bit of correction on the base here as well, but so it goes. Let's clean my brush here for a moment. That's almost the last of these. Alright. Just about there. Okay. That's all the casings done. Now, I definitely saw quite a few things I'm going to have to fix here on the base before we call it done. But hopefully, shouldn't take that long to do. Okay. I think I'm satisfied with that. Okay, let's take this off here. Get one of my wider brushes again. Get a darker black. And do the trim. A little bit spilling over onto the ground, but that's fine. We're going to be covering that up anyway. Okay. Now, I'll go change my paint water here. Probably should do that a little bit more often than I do, but I will be back momentarily. And I am back. Okay, we got some fresh water. I got enough left in here for this, right? Yeah, there'll be enough left for this. Give it. Definitely make sure I get it mixed up good, though. This will probably be the end of this bottle, though. All of this, a nice good bath of gnome oil. Okay, now, forgot to put my magnifying glasses back on. Also, definitely want to use the handle for this. Let's mop out some of this. It was a little heavier than I meant. Okay. Let's get started on the armor. Right, that's why I always do the trim after I take it off, because it's gonna scratch it up. Oh well. It's fine. I'll just do more black on the base when I'm done. Okay, so far so good. A little bit more gnome oil here. Okay, now let's water this down a lot. To use that on the cape. The inside, at least. Guess I'll just have to do it like that, I guess? Not sure how well that worked, but I guess so long as it's not got a bunch of big dark spots, it's all that matters. Right, and the back side of that. Okay. Now, put that one aside. Not 100% sure I'm gonna like how this turns out, but give it a go. Let's get some of my gloss and oil here. And do this on the cape. There. Okay. One more time, I'm gonna just try to mop out some of the creases here, because I definitely put it on way too heavy on the base. Try to avoid getting like black puddles, but only so much I can do about that at this point. It's fine though. Also, one thing I noticed I forgot to do in all of that, I didn't do the clasps on the cape. Or maybe clasp isn't the right word, but the little bit that's holding the cape onto the back of the armor. So let's get that done quickly here. And hopefully not make a mess of the cape. In the process. Whoops. Apologies. I got a little on the shoulder, but it should be okay. That's better. A little bit of gold paint on my finger. And on this finger. Don't know where that came from. Also, I think I want to maybe not let this pool up so much in the crevices of the cloak here. That's good. Now, take a little bit of spirit stone. It's sort of like transparent and glassy. we're going to put this over top of the silver for the gems. There's probably better ways to do, like, gemstones and whatnot, but of all the methods I've attempted, I'm very happy with this effect. I can only imagine it's not turning out super clearly on stream, but... Ooh, actually, cape is very shiny on stream. It looks it looks shinier on stream than it does in person. It didn't quite get that, like, silky satin look I was going for. But I think it's okay. And it being a little shiny is not going to be the end of the world. I think it's fine as is. Now, let's take it off the base. And let's fix what I messed up. Okay. It's better. Fix those big scratch marks. Well, now is when I would do decals. But I usually like to let the wash dry a little bit longer than that. It's still a little tacky, and I don't know if the setting solution will mess with that. I would like to get some decals done on stream for once, but I don't want to risk messing up the paint job on the shoulders. So maybe we go ahead and we could wrap up here, and then Sunday we could finish putting the decals on this mini and start the second Captain Centos. I think that works. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Or I'll just go ahead and do the decals between now and Sunday, and the other Centos will only need, like, one decal on it, maybe two. And I can just try to get things done in such a way that I won't need to let the model sit for a while before we attempt them. I'll figure it out. Either way. So yeah, here's the final results, sans decals. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Even the hazard stripes I'm not like 100% on, but I think they turned out okay, all things considered. They certainly look a lot better than my last attempt at it. Oh, also, wait, what am I saying? We're not done yet. we got to, the base isn't finished. Right, we need to put some actual texture paint on that. Granted, I'm not going to need a lot, but I tend to like the results, even if the ground already has, like, even if it's already modeled to look like dirt and whatnot, I still tend to like the results better, putting some of this on it anyway. And heck, by the time we're done doing this, the wash might be dry enough on the shoulders. Then I can go ahead and put the decals on. Probably gonna have to do another round of black on the edge. Fix some of this, but that's fine. Okay, let's get a little bit more. Okay. It's good. Okay. That looks pretty good. It'll turn out better once it's dry. Wipe that off. Now, how's the shoulder pads? Still feels a little tacky, but I mean, I guess I still have to get the decals out, so let's do that. Once again, I will be right back. Alright, and I am back again. So, only need a couple transfers. I did... Where did I put it? I did get one out earlier while I was working on other things. So, I've got this one here for the one shoulder, since I don't have a full, like, captain shoulder pad for him. Alright. So, this, as you can see, this transfer sheet has been picked through pretty thoroughly. Go ahead and cut this one out for the knee pad. And now, which one for the shoulder? Go with the one with the gold halo above it, or just gold outline for the whole emblem. Don't know if anyone's in chat or not, but any strong preferences between the two? That's not even remotely visible on stream with how bright that is. Well, I guess I'll just pick one. Let's do the gold halo. That one looks good. I haven't used one of these yet. Okay. Close up my X-Acto knife. Alright, yeah, still a little tacky, but it's dry enough at this point that I'm sure it will be fine to go ahead and put these on. And if it isn't fine, then I'll have learned. So. Definitely need a better solution to putting my magnifying glasses on while I'm already wearing headphones. Okay. Get my micro set here. Eyedropper. A little bit of water. Three of these lined up. Okay, let them sit for a few moments. Usually I, rather than dropping water on them, I just put them in a little plastic box to soak, but I didn't want to pause stream again and get up for something else, so we're doing it this way. Where did I put my tweezers? Because I'm gonna... oh, right here. Definitely gonna need them. Okay. Sure, it's been longer than 30 seconds at this point. Well, and again, apologies for however much or little of this is visible on stream, but this is where I really need to be able to see what I'm doing. So, There we go. Started to loosen up. Just one corner that doesn't... There we go. Alright. Get you onto the shoulder. Tweezers to adjust it a little. Okay. I think that looks pretty centered. Looks like brightness is maybe a little too high for that to be showing up super well, but... might have to play with those settings a little bit more in the future with the camera. Okay. That one seems good. Let's move on to the next. Come on. There we go. Now this one should have been sitting there long enough to slide right off. Yep. It also might not fit. Now if that's the case, I'll get a different decal. A lot more. In fairness, this decal was not intended, I think, as a Space Marine shoulder pad, so... I'm just making it work. Well... this might be okay. Yeah, this one will work. Alright. To flatten it out a bit, but it'll work. I could probably sit here for an hour adjusting this, and it would still never be quite centered, but... still gonna try, though. That'll be fine. It's a little wrinkly at the moment, but it'll flatten out. Yeah, come on. Okay, let's do this. Hopefully not bump the shoulders. A little bit more adjustment. Okay. So, get a Q-tip here to soak up some of the excess. Hopefully without moving it. Yeah, okay. Close this up. And move on to the microcell. I haven't quite worked out what the best way to use this stuff is. Thus far, my best results have just been getting a good bit on a brush and just putting a good heavy coat on top of the decal, letting it sit for a moment. But I'm sure there's a more, like, deliberate method to doing this. Oh, that's definitely crooked now. Shoot. Hopefully I can fix it still. Sometimes this stuff, no matter what I do, no matter how delicate I try to be with it, it'll like slip and slide around all over the place. And other times, when I'm trying to adjust it, might as well be super glue. Slowly getting the wrinkles out of this one, though that one's going to take some more time. Alright, let's go ahead and get some soaking on the knee pad as well. How's the first shoulder doing? Getting the few wrinkles out of this one. Looking pretty good, actually. I think it's a little crooked, but I don't know how straight I could get this one. I think it's like bumped up against the backpack too much. So that might be the best I could have done. Alright, how's this one doing? Getting there. The big wrinkles are gone. Is it even centered anymore? It sure isn't. Wow, it really slid around. Is it too late to adjust? Sure seems that way. Oh no. Oh. There we go. Okay. It's okay. The wrinkles are looking pretty ugly, though. Let's try to get another coat of this stuff on. Hopefully it'll flatten out. And I know pretty much all of this is probably going to be invisible to stream. I just really need to be able to see 100% of what I'm doing, so I don't mess these up. how's the knee pad doing? Pretty good. Just need to get the couple wrinkles out of this. Back to that. Check the first shoulder again. Still looking pretty good. Pretty much all the wrinkles are gone there. This one is very close to being good, but it's not quite there yet. I don't want to just keep piling up more and more solution on it, but I don't really know what else to do until the wrinkles go away. This is where I wish I knew better what I was doing beyond just put the solution on until it looks good. Although, it's getting there. Most of the wrinkles are gone. Let's get a little bit more and just let it soak on top. And let's check in on the other two decals while it's doing that. Okay, knee pad looks great. First shoulder. There's like one wrinkle in it that just refuses to go away. But beyond that, that looks great. It's just this one. Although, yeah, that last coat seems to have cleared up a bunch of the wrinkles. Honestly, I think this one's probably looking as good as it's going to. Again, don't know how well any of these are showing up. Maybe if I actually take it out of the light a little bit. Don't know how well any of these are going to show up on camera, but and the knee pad. But yeah. Basically the only thing left to do here that I'm not going to be able to do on stream, just for time, is I'm going to let this sit and dry for like 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, give or take, and then put one more very light coat of my wash over top of it, just to give it a little bit more like resistance to being scratched or moved again or anything like that. But and only reason I'm not doing that on stream is I don't want to just sit here for I don't want to make everyone else sit here for like 20 minutes waiting for me to be able to do that. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is done. This is the Captain Centos Mini is just a really cool model. Thank you again to my friends for getting both that one to me and the one I kit bashed. So yeah, I guess since I only got the one done, I guess we're doing this one on Sunday. Maybe by then I'll figure out what the heck chapter I'm making it. But yeah. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Oop, I almost clicked ad break. That's not what we want. Alright, anybody else streaming tonight? we're just gonna skip the raid tonight. Alright, so yeah, thanks again everyone for hanging out. Definitely need to play around with the focus and brightness on this a little bit more. Yeah, I think this, I didn't expect this one model to take the entirety of stream, but, really happy with the results, regardless. Yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out, and have a good night.